All right, let's get this pulled up. You got about 6 minutes before the open. No, 5 minutes. And a little late to the game, but it's okay. We're just drawing levels. So today there was a lot of news that hit. If we can pull up our economic calendar, we had a lot of stuff: building permits, housing starts, non-farm payrolls. I got an email from Take Profit Trader saying no open positions during this time for non-farm payrolls. We have unemployment rate and then Michigan consumer sentiment. And no, it was Minnesota that had that recent news event. Anyways, so let's see what happened during any of that time, because what I'm thinking is that we're gonna have a lot of movement early on and then probably a lot of chop today. Actually, we didn't do a whole lot. We had this spike and then we just kind of settled. We bought up and we settled into like a little range. So maybe we'll get something today. I don't know, because it's the end of the week and it's after a lot of news hit, and so a lot of people just might not be in the market. I mean, look, this is 200, like right here. This wasn't even a lot of market participation, 3,000. That's nothing in the 3,000 compared to, yesterday. What were we sitting at? Weren't we like in the 5 and 6 thousands? Yeah, so I mean, as far as this spike, there's just not a lot of market participation. It's very low. Like, but I'd say when I average this, I'd say low. I would call this low pre-market participation, and I'm gonna actually make a note of that for my. This is our high. Let me put that there. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna, this is low pre-market participation. Let's write that out. Low pre-market participation. I think the lowest I was seeing is like 200. This is several news events. Let's make a note of that. So what was the different news things? Building permits, housing starts, unemployment rate. Oops, what did I click? And what else did it say? Building permits. At 7:30. All right, so there's all of your and then we have very low pre-market participation. Okay, so we're just noting this. What does our range look like? It's bigger than yesterday. Double yesterday. Well, yeah, almost 500. It's almost 400. It's 393. So we'll say, make a note of that. All right, we're about to open. in 1 second. All the lines over here always look weird. I don't know why it does that. How come this moved? Okay. Oops, I forgot to log in. 1 second. And similar to when was it yesterday? Whatever day it was where there was hardly any movement, and I almost dipped out. If we don't get in a move for an hour, then we'll be done. But yeah, let's just log in. Same process. So I noted some things earlier than I normally do. What happened? Oh yeah, we were overbought here. All right, looks like we're coming up to the top. Pre-market high. We tapped it just barely. Not quite. Actually, not really, but sort of, but not really. We're on it. We're literally on the line. We're just barely now we're below. I wasn't thinking we were gonna get anything this morning because I don't know. I just wasn't thinking we were gonna get anything. Just kidding. It's all the way back below. That's nothing. That's not a valid break. Okay, you can't see it on your end, but on my end, my stop loss and take profit are the way they're supposed to, where you just check the box. But yesterday it didn't do that. Yesterday it was weird. It was like, this is looking very similar to yesterday. Yeah, it was doing a weird thing where it automatically told me my risk, and I think it was an Apex thing that it messed with something, because it was like, oh, I don't know why, but it was annoying. So all right, we might hold. Okay, we just barely held on the line, and I mean barely. Now we're above it. Let's wait for a pullback before we do anything. Now we're coming back in. I don't know. I mean, it held, but it didn't at the same time. And then it could all come down to semantics. Are we gonna call this a hold? Did it? I mean, it did, but it didn't at the same time. Like I said, it was on the line, just barely above it. It's in a very weird spot where you could say that it did or say that it didn't. We could buy. I don't know. It's weirdly on the line. Let's wait for this one to close. And there it goes. So the hesitation with this one was because we closed, but just barely above, and it wasn't a strong decisive close, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. No. So that's why. So I wanted this one to close above as well, to show that we were actually committed to holding above. And we didn't. So, and what's very interesting, if you kind of zoom in, see where we closed? The line's at 4, it closed at 6, 2 ticks off. And then we opened right on 4. So we opened below, kind of swept a bit, and then said, nah. So that's why. It's not because, okay, that's a strong, maybe a strong hold above. like I said, because of the news, I don't know that it's gonna be a good day to do anything really, because we might get a lot of manipulation, and maybe no direction. I don't know. I just know that the whole point is to try to catch, you want to be in a trend, a clear trend, and this is not trending anywhere. It's just kind of chopping, and maybe if anything it's going down, but I'd want to see a clean push above, pull back, and a continuation, not a barely push above, because a lot of people are going to be waiting for that, and we have very low participation. See, we're still in like the thousands, 900 to 1,000, very low participation in comparison to what we normally see. So we're still waiting, still waiting. You know, and this was tempting to get in because we were right on the line, very tempting to go either way, but it wasn't showing that it was a strong push above. And it clearly showed that we stalled. I didn't know, I wasn't thinking about this, but this clearly shows that we stalled. So no, I don't like these candles, and therefore I'm not gonna be, because this looks as bad as it is over here too, which is not a good sign. And just look at that, super low participation. I think it's because of the news, like because there was a bunch of news and it's Friday. I don't know, maybe people just aren't interested in getting in because they're like, I don't know, there's no interest, very low volume. So I'm gonna wait till after the 15-minute range, because people tend to trade the 15-minute range. So we'll see what they end up doing. We'll see what people end up doing around the 15-minute range, and then might just call it a day. We'll call it the week, because you know, the whole point, you want to get A+ setups, and this wasn't looking like an A+. And this is looking good to maybe sell, but I don't know. You want to take those maybes. Just look at that. There's no participation. Just very low. Oops. these candles are looking real great. Look at that, 100, 400. Where's this? Let's put that on, see what we're looking at. Yeah, because that's where all that mess happened. Maybe we buy from here. I don't know. All right, so there's your 15-minute range that was just formed from here to there. This is a prime area for something to happen, maybe. But yeah, we just created our 15-minute range. So I don't know. I'd like to see buying happen. But what do I know? Anyways, yeah, I want to see a clean break. And if we're trying to break here, well then I'm not sitting around waiting for that. So we will. And honestly, let me look at this real quick. This candle closed at 506.2. Oh, and I drew it at 5.4. Basically, I'm saying like I could move this down just a hair. Right there. That's actually where it should go. Okay. But even so, this wasn't convincing. This just wasn't convincing. Anyways, gonna watch it for another 48 minutes. Well, not 48 minutes. What time is it? Gonna watch it till 9, and then we will reassess whether or not we're gonna stay another 30 minutes, and then we'll probably be done. Not every day is going to be not every day is a good day to trade, you know? Some days there's gonna be a lot more manipulation and a lot more choppiness. And this was one such attempt. Like, if you had just said, okay, it closed above, right? But it wasn't an aggressive push and a pull above. There was actually a previous rejection, and then we just kind of sat right above it. Which is not like any of the days that we previously had. Since we're waiting, let's go back to those days. Okay. Let's start with date. All right, start at the beginning. Second. See, like for example, right here, we had an aggressive break. It wasn't like it came all the way down here, but it was an aggressive break because it went boom, and it came from here, boom, aggressive break. That was Wednesday. What about, how can I sift through pictures without having to close one out and then open one and turn into a whole thing. Okay, here's another one. This one was last Friday. So look, we had an aggressive break, right? We broke a clean break. Okay, it wasn't just that. It wasn't just that, oh, it's the little pop barely. It was a very clean break. Monday. Oh wait, let me check where we're at right now. Why is everything dark? Okay. Monday, a clean break. Very clean break. Tuesday. Momentum candle, and it was a clean break. Wednesday, Thursday. This was yesterday. This one was a little tricky. This was yesterday. I'm telling you, we had a clean break, very aggressive and clean break, but there was still chop and manipulation, but it was a clean break. Today was not a clean break. Today was not a clean break. Today was barely touched at all, right? So just know. And if we already aren't, because like we kind of sat near it and then we decided to drop off of it. It tells me that the level is valid, and it also coincides with some other things. It coincides with previous swing highs. It also, would I say I don't know about divergence between these three, no, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Get rid of this so I'm not getting tons of colors on my screen. Okay. But yeah, it wasn't a clean break. Apex just changed. Instead of having one account for $19, it's $39. But they also have resets. They have resets for $35, which their resets were $60. So resets are now $35 instead of $60. And then $65 for their PA, which I think it was near that, or it was 50. No, it was 60. It was 60, 65, something like that. So they're always having some sort of a sale. It's always something with Apex. Yeah, they're always having some sort of sale, because that's how they get you. Those are a couple nice pullbacks. Well, actually one. There's one nice pullback. We're gonna give it 5 minutes, and then yeah, we're gonna give it 5 minutes. I don't know, why does this feel like it's taking forever? Um, because how long did I sit here yesterday? Was it like an hour? I mean, I can wait the hour, but part of me doesn't want to, you know? Because it's note day today. I have notes to do at work. And so notes are not hard. It's more tedious because I have to go into every single case, and I have almost 60 cases, so I have to go into every single one effectively and do an update every case. So you can imagine that it takes a while. It's not because it's hard, it's just annoying, it's tedious. You know, and without any distractions, I could probably get my notes done like in an hour. And then after I do notes, I have to after notes, then I have to what do I do? So after I do case notes, then I have to go through and I have a sheet, and I update all of the notes on my Word document. Then I have to go into each case within the program, into each case file, folder, whatever, and update each case, and then write a new case note. So basically I just copy and paste. So it's not hard. It's tedious. It's annoying. Look at the participation. This is going to be a no for me, even though we might break, but without the volume to support it, it's good. Volume's coming in, it's coming in, but without volume to support it, without the volatility, we could end up sitting here. Now, we could have a nice smooth move. We could have a smooth move without all of the participants. We could just move up nicely, or we could do this thing, or we just have a lot of weak movement. Due to this very low participation, I don't think I'm gonna trade even if we break, unless we get some aggressive break. I want to see an aggressive, and I mean aggressive break. If we can get an aggressive break with this many low of participants, I may take it, because it's still data and I still have to record what happens when we break with this extreme low number of participants, right? I still have to be able to document what happens. So this could go. I don't know, it could, but the question is more, do I want to be sitting here waiting for it with this low of a number, right? Because so far we've had in the thousands, and I need to go back and actually write down some of these numbers that I didn't, like some of these notes. Like, for example, I wasn't doing the range, and I wasn't doing the market participation. So I do need to go back and do that. So I will probably not this weekend. I'll sit down and do it. But for this, I still have to log it, right? If it does break with such low participation, do we still take off? I don't know. And that's, and that's kind of the point, right? Maybe we don't all day, but like if we don't within the hour, then I'm not sitting here all day waiting for a break. I'm just not, because again, I still have a day job, right? So we came up to it and we rejected off of it. We still have 20 seconds. Let's see if we can aggressively break. I want to see an aggressive break. not just a tap or not just a, oh, we're barely above it. It needs to be clearly above it, not on the line, not 2 ticks away, and it's gonna close below. It closed below. Now we have another minute to watch. See how we come up to it every time, and then we're like, look at this volume. Well, 4, 70. I don't know if you can see that. 70, 97, 100. People are coming in, but 4. Yeah. I don't think I want to be trading that low of volume. And we're rejecting off of it again. So this is obviously a level that people are reacting to. They're reacting to this level because every time we come up to it, we reject. I'd want to see a clean break, clean above like this, okay? Then I'd want to see a pullback after the fact. Still low volume where it's coming in. So this is where you could start looking for that pullback, unless we close below. This one's hot, yeah, and then we're right back into it. And now we're below this moving average, so you wouldn't be buying even if no. And right after we came above, did we hold? No. We tried, we really did. Because we're here, this came, the high was 7. So yeah, 8 ticks. It was 8 ticks above this time instead of only, what was this one, 4? What was that? No, this one was 2, I think. Or maybe it was more. Yeah, I think this one was 4 ticks above. This one was 8. Again, same problem. We keep rejecting off of this every time. Every single time. We're pushing. We were coming all the way back up to it. We're right on it again. There's your pullback. Yeah, this is what you gotta deal with. We got some more people in and we were up in the 600s now. So that's still extremely low. Still extremely low. Let's see if this one can hold it. Why? We want to push. We push up to it and then we stall every single time. And then even when we got above it, it was briefly and then it came right back down. I think we want to buy. I think we do. But I don't want to be biased, because if you're biased, you start getting a little hasty. Because if you're like, oh, there's your buy right there. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. Because if you looked at the CVD, you could clearly see there's divergence, obviously, because as we pushed up again, even less. We were in the thousands, when we were in like the 1000s, and then we came down, we pushed back up, and now we're only in the 200s. So that could suggest divergence to continue selling, could. Or it's really trying. It's really trying. I don't know. This is a really good area for us to manipulate and do a bunch of nothing, because that's exactly what's happening. It's like we're getting these false, because if I was looking at this, I'd be like, okay, we keep coming up and each time we fail, right? Which means, and we keep selling. So I'd be adding a lot of sellers every time I come up here, which means if there's sellers, they're all placing their stops where? Up here. All right, so there's your clean break above, and that's a clean break. And we just broke the opening, the 15. So let's see what we do here, because we just briefly broke the 15, which is a key level for a lot of retail traders. So I'd want to see red, and it would come down to here. Maybe not. So yeah, I want to see red, and then there we go. This is what I mean by a clean break. Not bad. We got a lot more people in the market. There's more people coming in. Yeah, I need that. There you go. There's that push back down. Because where are sellers getting trapped? Right here. If you were selling, stop losses would have been up here, and if you were buying, people are placing their stop losses all the way down here. So we'll see what happens here, because if we get a green, that's going to be an entry, a clean entry too. And I will enter, because it's not about the money, it's not about the profits. It's literally I need to be consistent, because all of this is data. It's all data, regardless of whether it wins or not. And look at that, it just sold right back down. So there you have it. There was your clean break, and then sold right back down, and there was no signal to enter, which is a good thing. I don't want to see signals to enter things that do this. So we'll see what it does. So that could have been just a really deep pullback. Because if I'm seeing this, I'm saying, okay, we gotta be selling now. We have to be selling. So what are we doing? You're entering for sells here with your stop up here. So if you notice, when the sellers come in, they come in strong. The buyers, very weak. Here's a break. But the buyers keep trying, sellers keep pushing it down. Let's see where this one closes. I want to see a clean close, not that. Okay, we closed above. I need to see something that says this is an actual uptrend. Because that ain't it. That's better. See, this closed right about where this one closed, where I said no. See, and this is your opening range, which your 15-minute opening range, which is where what likes to happen? A lot of manipulation. It's going to be happening here. Because if I saw this and then I saw this, I'd be thinking, oh, we're gonna buy, and I'd be getting in a buy. So maybe, who knows? Like I said, prime area for manipulation. Got about 15 minutes. We're gonna get a clean pull back down. So the whole point is you want to see a clean trend with a pullback and a continuation. This looks like it's tipping over. Like I said, every day is not going to be a trading day. Let's see what this does. It might push. I don't know, because it's been struggling for quite some time. Yeah, that looked like it was about to go too, and it just didn't. Oh, maybe now. Maybe this time. Nope. And we are going to close below again. Again. I'm gonna take my notes because this is not doing anything. So we're gonna say extremely low market participation with the lows. I mean, look at that. The lows in the 50s. Start writing this out. The extreme low CBD part open in 1000s after 15 min OR. As low as 50 to what are we seeing? As low as 52, maybe 800. Okay, now we're gonna draw some arrows. This was your first break. Okay, we'll say this. First break was not clean for ticks above. No entry. Okay, then we had now we have a clean break. Now clean break. No Renko entry. Ah, here's another clean break. Testing 15 min herb. If we can pull from here, I might count that. Maybe. Still, look at that. Market participation is so low. I think when market participation is that low, it could mean one of two things. Either one, it's just gonna chop and wick, or two, it's just gonna move smoothly without a lot of interference. But that's the problem. You don't know which one. There's your break. All right, there's your buy-in. Buy-in because that's a clean break. Whoa. Actually, I didn't expect that to work. I was so expecting that to lose. Okay. That's crazy. Dang. Whoa, I've never seen my account up that high. Ever. Okay. Okay, I gotta log this too. And it wicked me out too. But it was clean. That no Renko entry. Okay, this will be the last one I do. Eesh. All right, let's make a note of this. Clean. Wow, look at that. Clean break and entry off Renko pull back. Look at that, keep going. I sure wish he had stayed in, huh? Sure. Once I saw up 20, I honestly wanted to get out, but okay, let's make sure these notes are here. I'm gonna do this. This is what you wanted. See, because this break that happened here didn't lead to an actual pullback, but this one did, and it was beautiful. Okay, let's draw our circle. I gotta not get too excited because this is when I start messing myself up. I'm gonna draw a circle here because this was your other clean break that happened, but there was no. Make sure I say wait. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I was expecting to lose that trade, okay? I was not expecting good things. Okay, so let me put this. Because I said low volume will either lead, and look at that, well, now we have some participation coming in the up to 2000. Now we're in the 2000s. After, let me make a note of that. Clean break, an entry off Renko. Volume coming in after break in the 2Ks. All right, does this look clear? Oh wait, well, there's one thing I'm forgetting. There's the news. I need to include the news event. Can I do that over here? Where are we? Four, five. I should be scrolling up, not down. Oops, what is this? Okay. That was Thursday. Okay, here we go. Here's the news. Cause I want the news on here. Can I just need to be able to screenshot all of it. Okay, I guess I'll have to minimize. Okay. What was the market doing it before? Hey buddy, are you awake? There's not enough space. Okay. Let's move this. Nice pullback. Oh, let me fix this. Okay, I think I got everything. All right, so let's go back and we'll just talk about what we're seeing. You can't see some of my notes because of the way the screen is, but it's fine because I'm gonna be able to screenshot it this way. So basically, here are our notes. Let's go over them again. So we have this was the news today. So we had non-farm unemployment, housing starts, building permits, and blah blah blah. Okay, so that was this. Our pre-market range is 393 approximately. And then we had low pre-market participation. So everything in here was between 200 and 1,000. Then we have our first break right here, but it was not clean. It was only 4 ticks above. So we didn't look for an entry because that was right here. That's where we're looking. And it was not clean at all. So then I didn't look for our trade there. Then we came all the way down. I was thinking I better just log off for the day. Then we got another break. We got a break here, but it was the same. And actually, because of this, I'm gonna draw one more arrow. Gonna draw an arrow to this as well, because that's the exact same problem where we had a break but it wasn't clean, and then also there was no entry. um yeah, so there was also no entry. Then we noted that there's extremely low CVD participation. The open was in the thousands, so this in the gray. And then after the 15-minute opening range formed, then we have participation as low as 50 to 800. So it's extremely low, extremely low. Then we finally got a clean break right here, which is right there. Okay, so we have finally got a clean break, but now it's right on that 15-minute opening range, which is what I don't want to see. And let me look over here. So this is what I'm talking about. So we wait. It came all the way back down, and then it popped back up just briefly, but again, we're still lulling around this 15-minute range and our pre-market range. We haven't created anything higher. We're just kind of chilling. So I'm like, no. Then we finally get a break that is above this last high peak. So we're about equal highs there. We get a pullback, a nice clean pullback. That's where you entered. That was, I say it's risky, but trading is risky. So what do you expect, little pup? Anyways, Pup's here. He is ready to be done. So um so yeah, that's what happened. I noted that after we had our break, we start to see volume coming in the 2000s. And then yeah, I noted this was a clean break right here. Okay, so I got all my notes. We like to log out of, yeah, we like to log out so we don't accidentally press buttons. Log out of Trade08. Okay, log out. There you go. Okay. So so now we're just gonna screenshot this, take a picture, download image. Hopefully that worked. Okay. Lot of notes on that day. I need to get a printer. I keep saying that, but let's go here. We're almost done. Don't worry. Yeah, so basically gonna just be, oops, I don't want that. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so I mean, that's not, those aren't the notes I just did. Yeah, once I get a printer, I can write down more things because I only have so much space. Okay, let me go here and find the actual thing. Where did it go? I can't be trusted to work the computer. I'm struggling constantly. It's okay. Oops, copy. Do not cut. What is it? Oh, okay. And then let's just look at it. Oh, here we go. Okay, this over on this side is kind of a mess. But this is what we have on the other side. Hopefully I can understand it. So I'm pointing to this clean break and this clean, not a clean, these non-clean breaks, then this clean break, but there was no Renko entry, and then we were waiting because we came back below. Then we noted this clean break, and then this pullback, and then I noted volume. Okay. And we got this in here. Just making sure it's all there. Okay. Oops. Let's see what news we have next week. I want only high impact. We'll have news on Tuesday. Inflation. Yeah, we'll have inflation on Tuesday, PPI on Wednesday. Okay, so we'll have news Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, and that is gonna be it for the week. I will be back on Monday.